Oh. Ah! Ah! Get your vocal warm up, Michaela. Ah! Ah!
Nah, I'm happy.
I gotta take a Mountain Dew sip.
God. Time for the acid reflux recording.
Ah! Alright. It's time for the big one.
Yeah.
The best one in the franchise.
Uh-huh.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Uh-huh.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Alright, so we watched the first one.
Yes?
Our recording didn't go well.
No. We did 3 recordings. Did we do 4?
I think we did 3.
Okay.
We didn't like the audio.
Uh-huh.
So we're skipping that one, but we watched it. Your first time, my 20th time.
Uh-huh. Conclusion of the first one, I liked it.
What would you give it?
I
On the
think I
rating
give it-
scale. We gotta come up with the rating scale. Out of 10 evil
Asians.
Asians. Stereotypical evil Asians.
I'd give it 7.
I also gave it 7. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna open up. Did I mess it up? Oh god. So the first one has a 53% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. We rated it better because it gets cringy at times, but it's also 2001, and I understand that. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. Fucking hate you. I don't hate you.
Alright, Too Fast, Too Furious, 2003. Too Fast for 2003. Or Too Fast for 2002, and they had to come out 2003. Because it was Too Fast for 2002. So it needed... Oh no, it's Too Fast for 2004. So it came out quicker. Because it was Too Fast 2004, so it came out 2003.
Uh-huh. Or it was too fast for 2002. And they couldn't keep up. So they're like, oh, we gotta wait for y'all slow asses in 2003.
The math is not right here. Alright, so I honestly forgot that we watched this movie until I asked you earlier if you want to record this video.
This is not a good movie.
Because seconds before that, I went, oh yeah, we watched that movie last night.
This is not a good movie. There were 2 scenes that we liked in this movie. There
were 2? I thought there was 1.
No, there were 2.
Let's go. Alright, let me pull back up the movie. This bitch right here. Alright. Let me maximize this again.
So there were 2 shots that I liked, I guess.
Can we talk about this intro real quick?
Yeah.
This Nickelodeon ass intro with the metal rim, or the metal Universal sign going to the metal rim.
Yeah.
What I was starting to sit down when that was popping off.
Yeah.
The sounds of that, the I was starting to sit down. I thought the apartment was going to explode.
I think I laughed and I just said that was unnecessary.
Because the it felt like Spy Kids, like Spy Kids 3D, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole film felt like it was shot by Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Like the shots that were happening, the Dutch angles. Every time there was a Dutch angle, it pissed me off.
I count. When you talked about the Dutch angles when we were watching it, I started to count them, and I noticed, and I wasn't watching it fully because I was like, this movie kind of ass. But I counted 12 Dutch angles in 45 minutes, I think, and those were just the ones I saw. So they didn't need to be there. You know, there was no shocking turns in this movie. It was a vroom vroom movie. You know, it was unnecessary again.
For me, it was the Dutch angles, and it was the zooms.
Yeah.
The zooms were I don't know why. I don't remember what I compared it to.
You compared it to those black and white samurai movies.
Oh yeah, the
Kung Fu.
the Black Belt Theater movies.
Yeah.
Remind me of that. And
but this wasn't as enjoyable. I want to point out that I think she's Asian, but that girl in that pink, all pink. Yeah, that monstrosity, that deep ass grab. I didn't have an issue with that. And normally I'm like, oh, it's a girl. She's got to be smothered in pink and shit. And gotta be, yeah, that girl. I didn't have a problem with that because I'm like, you know what? Fuck this movie. Stupid. 2003, whatever. Fuck you. But I thought it was fine. I saw it initially and I was like, oh, this is gonna be annoying. You know, she's gonna be one of those overtly like cutesy girls. She's like, I hang out with guys. I race. You know, but it wasn't like that. I liked her character.
Also, the dialogue is pretty ass.
Yeah. I don't know whose child wrote this and then gave it to them. I was like, hey, I wrote this script, and I was like, yeah, this is perfect. But
It felt like, I think I said this during the film. It felt like they were like, you say your line, and then I say my line, and then you say your line, and then I say my line, and then let's go home.
yeah, and you said everything felt like a first take.
Everything felt like a first take. I swear, some parts in this film, people like slurred their lines. Isn't slur the perfect word for slur?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're kind of slurring when you do it. Slur.
So it says these three guys did it: Gary Scott Thompson, Michael Brandt, and Derek Haas. They were doing cocaine or something in the bathroom, like in between writing this shit, because this was not good. This was not good.
This was a fail.
There were lines where it's like, these grown-ass men who are about to go to prison or die are like, you shut up. No, you shut up. And it's like, I understand that maybe like it refers to the Paul Walker's character and Roman. You know, they knew each other as kids, younger people, you know, so maybe it was bringing up those old feelings, but that I could forgive that if the dialogue wasn't asked for everyone equally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it felt like first takes for everything. And it also felt like it was all ADR. Like it was all like they did voiceovers afterwards. And also, it was annoying me every time they were in the car, they were speaking when they were racing. Like they could actually hear each other.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, too slow, Brian. And Brian would be like, ha, I'm not slow. You're slow. That wasn't the dialogue, but it was the gist of the dialogue, you know?
Yeah.
And the first one is kind of like, the most you got of that was Vin Diesel being like, oh, too soon on the Nas, you know? But other than that, you had like the guy going like, oh man, he's fast. And stuff like that, you know? It wasn't like, oh, they can actually hear me. It felt that way. I know it wasn't like, but it just felt like that was the way they made it. And how does this movie look worse than the first one?
Yeah, the CG, I know as movies progress, they get smaller budgets, you know, like typically, you know. Again, like it looked like someone's like high school, like learning graphics, made these graphics. They are worse than they were in the first one, especially in the cars and like going inside the car engines. Yeah, it just looked like like it didn't look real at all. Like it didn't have any. I don't think it had any shading. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It was not good.
Can we talk about the plot?
Yeah.
So, in the first film, there's this mystery, right? And you're like intrigued, you're like, what's going on? It could be this person, it could be the group that they're with. What side is Paul Walker on? You know, what's going on here? And this film, it's like, hey, Paul Walker, we know you ran or whatever, or you're just chilling out here in Florida. We need you to help us. And he's like, okay, but I don't want this guy with the sody pop. I want this other guy. So he comes out, and they're like, I got this partner. He'll help me. And then they start fighting, and they feel like little kids fighting. Because he's like, they kind of like shove each other.
Yeah.
And they get on the ground, just start slapping each other.
Yeah.
It's just like little kid shit. Meanwhile, I have no idea what their mission is. I don't remember if they ever said what the mission was.
They did, but I think you were just fucking spaced out from all this stupid shit going on.
Because they have generic bad guy 101, right? I have no idea what his deal was or why he was evil. Because he put like a rat in a bucket and lit the bucket on, or heated up the bucket. You know, that old thing. What else did he do?
He did that. He threatened to, like, basically kill that guy's wife and children.
I have no idea, like, why the cops are after him. They were like, oh, hey, he's a bad guy, so we're just gonna go after him.
Yeah, we don't know if this guy was, like, drug trafficking or human trafficking or, like, just a mob, like, oh, security money, you know? We don't know what the fuck he was doing down there.
They probably said in that one scene when the guy's, like, sipping the soda, but I was just too distracted by something else, maybe the bad, like, cinematography or...
Yeah, the shots were really boring. That's why I'm like, there were two shots that I liked in this whole movie. And it was shot like a Nickelodeon movie. Like, it's kind of goofy. It's kind of like, the Dutch Angle.
Dutch Angle.
Kind of like a Shark Boy and Lava Girl, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just in your face, like, we're good, we're bad. The blues and greens and or not blues and greens, blues and reds. Yeah, this is a scene where it's just like that was one of the most boring scenes I've ever seen.
I noticed they were trying to make like dynamic shots of like the camera moving, but it was just boring to look at.
Yeah.
This guy right here, Raiden, in the background.
Maybe no one wanted to make this movie. So that's why everything is just ass. The cinematography is
The
not
guy,
good, like,
oh my god, I forgot to say, the guy who made this movie made Boys in the Hood.
yeah.
And that shocks me.
Yeah.
That is shocking. This movie's ass.
Can we get to that scene where that man gets fucking scorched under a semi-truck?
Oh my god. Nothing in the last movie. Did anyone die in the last movie? Oh yeah, Jesse died. But that was like a game, you know, it came up to that. But no one like died just for like a goof or a laugh or, you know, whatever. In this film, someone legit got smushed by a semi-truck.
I did not see it coming. I was not expecting it, and I still feel kind of scarred because they show you the guy under the truck, like looking around, like he realizes like something's really wrong, and then the car just goes under the tires and it's just fucking flattened. And I'm like, I feel like, you know, when you go on the internet
Mm-hmm.
and like you just accidentally just watch someone get murdered. This felt real, and it felt so scary. And I don't know why they put that in there because that, like, I don't want to see this again. You know?
Yeah, I will show it to you. They were like, we need to get rid of this guy because we have nothing else for him to film. Let's just murder him. And then nothing comes of that. No one's like,
Yeah.
there's no mention of the cops like, oh, they got someone killed on the freeway or, you know, whatever. There's a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense in this film. Like, this cop is like, oh, I think they're running. Explain that part why we're confused.
Okay, so you were confused on this, but this is what happened. So they go undercover to get this guy, right? There's a girl already planted in this guy's house. She tells them, or the boss tells him like, oh, you gotta go over here and pick something up for me. If you do that, we can work together. So they go to leave, and the lady didn't tell the cops that she's like, oh yeah, he sent them over here, or like I guess neither did Paul Walker and them. Like they weren't like, oh yeah, we gotta go out here. So the cops just assumed they're like, oh, they're trying to escape. Let's go fucking get them and blow their cover after they've been there for 45 minutes. This part didn't make sense either. It's pieces to like 40 different puzzles. Nothing fits.
Oh yeah, this part where he's like, oh yeah, we're here to meet the guy. And then what was it, Tyrese? He's like, hey, he's over there, don't look at him. And immediately it cuts into this wide shot of Paul Walker looking at him. Usually if a guy's like, don't look at him, it'll cut to like a close-up on the person turning in to look at the person. Like comedic effect or whatever. There's none of that. He just turns and looks at him and then they go talk to the dude. It don't make no sense.
They were also surprised that he was there. They're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he's here. Like, I hope so. We have a meeting.
Oh, and these two guys. Oh yeah. Then she shows up at their little boat that they're borrowing from Ludacris, and then she just pops up out of nowhere, and she's like, "Hey, just so you know, they're planning on killing you." And Paul Walker's like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, they're planning on killing you." And I felt like there was a scene missing of her hearing this guy say, "Yeah, we're gonna kill these two idiots," and not give them the money. But she just pops up. I feel like they want to keep it on that runtime. You know, they have like 17 minutes left.
Oh, can we also talk about the kiss?
Oh yeah, they just kiss randomly on the boat after that.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why.
They don't get together at the end.
Back in the club when they're like, oh shit, he's here. You know he's supposed to be there. I'll give you the best line of the movie. It's like a oasis in here.
Is that the last scene you liked?
No, it's not the scene I like, but
So what's the two scenes you liked?
I liked a shot, and it's like of the sunset down there, and there's like two bridges, and they're like almost parallel. I think they are parallel, and it just pans down to them talking, like on the bridge. I like that shot, and I like the shot that you like, or the scene that you like.
The one where the henchman has like Paul Walker in a headlock in the car, and then Tyrese pulls open the door and then grabs the guy, the henchman, and pulls him out, and then Paul Walker like stays in the headlock and goes out with them. He's like, oh shit, that just seemed like interesting to me because usually the henchman just lets it go.
Yeah, it was very unique.
Yeah, it's very like natural looking.
And you saw, I like that you saw his whole body.
Mhm.
Like you saw his head down to his shoe. You know, like the motion of it was very interesting. I like that, and that's all I liked about this movie.
I miss Paul Walker. He seems like a nice.
Yeah, he's very handsome. I never looked at him like ever, except for like the 2-minute long trailers of Fast and Furious. You know. Like even after he died, I never looked him up. But yeah, watching these movies, I'm
Jesus
like, oh
Christ.
yeah, that straight up looks like a toy. Like it doesn't look like a toy because
Feels
the toy
like-
would look real.
Pre PS1 CGI.
I told you that most of these shots look like you're racing in a car at the arcade in one of those games.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things I did not like at all. The shots were boring, you know, but also they made the racing boring. Just because they would zoom in on the faces of people driving and then they'd zoom in on cars like taking a turn. And that was it. I wanted wide shots. I wanted to see where they were going, what they were
Yeah.
doing.
I remember the scene where they're like, "Oh yeah, we got to get these cars, win these cars." I asked, or I told you, is it weird that I don't want to see this race? And you're like, I don't want to see it either.
Yeah, I don't want to see all the zooms and speeds and vroom, you
It
know,
was
like-
shot like a ass.
Yeah, it was the movie's ass.
And then generic. Okay, I hate this bad guy. Like his acting wasn't terrible,
Yeah.
but it was just like I had no idea what his motives were. Like I knew his like go and do this, but there was no like, all right, he's just bad guy and he just wants the money, and that's it. And then at the end they're like, he's going to come back for your ass, and it's like I don't think he is. I think that's it. Anything else in your notes?
No, but make sure you leave the Oasis in. Oh, you gotta find that shot at like the sunset.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This.
You just like that shot.
Yeah, I like that. Like it's interesting, you know?
Mhm.
It's like almost like a slice of life. Like you'd see like the intro of like a little sitcom right there.
This movie isn't worth any more time.
I originally was gonna give it 4. And now I'm thinking like I never want to see this movie again. So I'm probably gonna give it like a 3 or 2. What would you give it?
Really? All right, no, we have to get the scale rating. We have to come up with the rating.
Okay.
Out of 10 I was gonna say Dutch angles.
Oh yeah, that's good, that's good.
Out of 10 Dutch angles, you would give it.
I'd give it 10 just because you hate Dutch angles. Nah, Yo, what? Is he about to fucking blast off in that dude's face?
I'll give it 4. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
It is pretty bad though.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'll give it a 4.
With the director too, though.
I'm just rating this movie, not on the history of the movie. I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'll give it a 4 too, I guess. I'm gonna give it.
You're in a 42?
No, I'm gonna give it a high 3.
A high 3.
High 3.
I'll give it a low 4.
Okay.
I think it's below average, but it's not awful. It only goes up from here.
Yeah. that's- I
Tokyo
hope so.
Drift is net. That's the one I'm looking forward to watch the most.
I never watched it.
All right, tell the people to subscribe, Caleb.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment for me, please. I love to read them, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.
Ah, that was awesome.
Thanks.
Should I stop now?
If you want to.
What should we call people? Lohos?
I was thinking of calling them loves or something like that,
Loho.
or cuties.
Oh, we should call our comment section the Hoasis.
You know what? Stay moist and hot up in there.
And our commenters can be the hoes. All right.
Bye. Fuckos.
That means that we're the pimps.
Fuckos.
We're the pimps.
With the pimps.
Yeah, we're the big pimps.
These my hoes.
Big pimp daddies.
All 2 of them.
All right.